Sunday, 1 playoff spot and 10 playoff seedings to be settled. Welcome to NBA Tip-Off presented by Lilly from Studio J here in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson with Shaq and Kenny and Chuck back from the Final Four, back for the end of the regular season and for a playoff run in the NBA.
All right, man. Shout out to all the people at CBS for a great 3 weeks. It was awesome. And but we're glad to be home.
Yes, we are.
You weren't saying that when we were up there. You were talking bad about these people. But
well, that's because they wasn't around.
okay.
We always tell you talk bad behind people back. That doesn't
no, that's you. That's you. That's not us.
Okay. Hey, so what do we know going into this final Sunday?
Oh, this will be good.
Would you
right
like
here.
to know what?
No, I know what you just asked, Shaq.
No,
it's too complicated.
Yeah,
oh, you know, I know.
No, here's what we know in the Eastern Conference. 1 through 4, locked in, okay? Can't move. 5 through 10 could all change after today's play. Meantime,
Hawks against the Cavaliers would be delicious.
Meantime, Western Conference. So Thunder and Spurs have the top 2 spots. Rockets and Timberwolves have 5 and 6. We know the Suns will be 7, hosting a play-in game, and the Warriors will be on the road in a play-in game out of the number 10 spot. So, the NBA,
Kind of fast.
the NBA sent this out, and I love it. It's a work of art. It really is. 40 scenarios for the games today.
You know what I call that?
For the what?
Waste of time.
Ernie-lytics.
It is, man. I saw
Ernie-lytics.
this on my printer at home, and I was like, "Oh,
Because you got it memorized. I already know you got it memorized.
Unbelievable! It is tremendous.
Somebody had too
Look
much
at
time
this.
on their hands.
No, that's
Ernie-lytics.
the
Ernie loves
league.
that.
No, the league trying to help us out, saying, "Look, here are all the scenarios for if a team loses and a
Kenny,
team wins." And
I
all
got
that.
4 degrees. I have no idea what I'm looking
Yeah,
at.
no, this is.
No, Ernie got it. It was ordered donuts. And
Oh, I know. I got it.
everything that. This is great.
Called the neighbors, told them to come over and take a look at it.
Had a barbecue.
Ernie-lytics.
So let's move on. Look, I could take a few hours and read all of this to you, all the what ifs, but a much better way to put this day into perspective is by hearing the rat-a-tat-tat delivery of our old school correspondent. Here is Scoop D'Agostino.
Mr. and Mrs. North and South America and all the ships at sea, let's go to press. Jump in, Judy. My head is spinning. All the playoff scenarios. How to make sense of all the mumbo-jumbo? Well, our crack investigators have been on the case to bring you all the combinations and permutations to get set for next week's playoffs. Out east, here's what we know so far. The top 4 seeds have all been decided, with Detroit, once again the bad boys, on top, followed in order by Boston, New York, and Cleveland. The Hawks, thanks to 20 wins in their last 25 contests, can clinch the 5 seed with a win over Miami or a Toronto loss to Brooklyn. Atlanta can be no worse than 6th in the East. Go ahead, Shaq. Get it out of your system. Feel better now? Now here's where it gets dicey. Toronto can finish as high as 5th or as low as 8th. Top of the Nets guarantees the Raptors are no worse than 6th. Orlando and Philly can get to 6th with some help, but worst-case scenario is 8th and a head-to-head matchup for the 7th seed in the play-in. The back half of the East play-in is comprised of Charlotte and Miami. The Hornets have a leg up on preserving home court advantage in the 9-10 game, needing a win over the Knickerbockers or a Miami loss to Atlanta to avoid heading to South Beach to fight for their playoff lives. Still with me, gentlemen? Good. Now, here's the West Side story. OKC and San Antonio are locked into the 1 and 2 seeds respectively, and Houston and Minnesota own the 5 and 6 seeds, avoiding the play-in. The Nuggets and Lakers will wrestle for the 3 seed, with injury-plagued LA needing a win over Utah and a Denver loss to San Antonio to leapfrog the Nuggets for 3rd. Also locked in, Phoenix to the 7 seed and GSW to the 10 spot. Still to be decided, Portland's magic number is 1 to preserve the 8th spot. But the LA Clippers, who after starting 6-21 have gone 35-19 since, need a Portland loss and their own win against Golden State to take on Phoenix in the 7-8 matchup. All other teams have been eliminated and wait for ping pong balls to bounce their way come May. But the only matchup we know for sure is that the Hornets play the Heat in the East 9-10 game, leaving a lot at stake on the final day of the regular season. Someone say steak? I like steak, just like Chuck, even if he needs to cut it all up before he takes a single bite. As always, we're giving you the scoops on oops and eating rituals right here on This Week in the NBA.
The inimitable Scoop D'Agostino.
I don't know what that means. If that means idiot, that's
Never imitated.
I mean, he knows a lot about you. He knew how you cut your steak.
Yeah, he's
Ernie
also
had
the
an
producer
argument.
of the.
Ernie thinks you should cut one piece of steak at a time.
You should.
Yeah.
That's
like
how
a
you-
man.
No, you don't. You cut your whole steak up.
No, children
Dennis
do
did
that.
it.
No, you do. You
Children
cut it
do
all
that.
up, let it get cool, and then eat it. That's a great idea.
It ain't. Why? You act like the steak gonna be there like an hour.
Well, yeah, with you.
I mean, you're the same guy who told me there's a difference in toilet paper.
Yeah, there is.
No, that's not a difference in
It
toilet
is.
paper.
2-ply,
Sherman,
1-ply.
baby.
Hey, nope.
Sherman.
There's no difference between 1-ply and 2-ply. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Just have to ball up a little bit more.
Anyway, as I was saying, so if Orlando beats Boston, and Atlanta beats Miami, and Charlotte beats New York, and Milwaukee beats Philly,
Man, we're gonna be
and
here
Brooklyn beats Toronto, Atlanta will be the 5 seed, Orlando will be the 6 seed, Toronto the 7th,
we just
Philly
wait till
the
it
8th,
happens?
Charlotte the 9th, and Miami the 10th.
We just wait till it happens.
Now,
Well, this is-
if
this
Orlando
show's an
wins and
hour.
Atlanta wins, no, I love this thing. That's the greatest. Thank you, Mark Broussard at the NBA. It's great
Is
stuff.
he related to Chris Broussard?
No, he's not.
Okay.
But thank you for asking. So, look, Orlando's got something to play for here, but they also need some help as they play in Boston today.
I think right now is if you're in these scenarios, the one thing that you're doing is you want to have possibly some momentum. So you're playing for momentum. Then the excuse is if you lose, well, it doesn't really matter. We don't need this. So I'm not sure if you're on the teams that are playing for position to like 7-8. So you only get one play-in game. That's huge.
Yeah.
Those things
Well,
are huge.
getting into the playoffs themselves, this is what the Magic are trying to avoid the play-in.
So this is what I would do if I'm like, hey, guys.
If you're who?
Anybody.
Okay.
Let's just win our game
and see what happens.
and see what happens. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, if we lose and then this other team wins or they lose, we get like, no. The right thing to do, let's just win our game and we'll worry about all this stuff around midnight tonight.
And I've been here 12 years, probably the second time I agree, Chuck. You just have to take care of your business today and not worry about us. Because if you took care of business, you wouldn't have been in this position. But you still have one chance to take care of business. So we take care of business and don't worry about what everybody else is
You
doing.
only been right twice in 12 years?
No, you only been right twice.
No, okay.
Yeah, you.
Nice try.
Yeah, you.
Orlando does have your boy, Franz Wagner.
The
back in
Wagner
there.
boys are back.
They're 4-1 since he's been back from he missed a bunch of time with the ankle.
Guaranteed win for Orlando today. The Wagner boys
Well,
are back.
I would almost guarantee that too, seeing who's not going to play for Boston. Like everybody.
You know,
Yeah.
Ernie, I've been paying attention, and we talked about tanking on the podcast today. I think I saw a stat, 170 players didn't play Friday. To me, as much as I love Adam Silver, we've got to do something, man. We can't have 170 starters, basically, not play in games. That, like, yeah,
Okay,
we
but
just
question. What if we got our fate sealed and we just want to get proper rest going to the playoffs? Is that
170
okay?
players do not have 170.
No, you're right. but I'm
Like,
just
listen,
saying.
It'd be hard to have 170 starters sitting since there are 150 in the league.
Yeah. Well,
That's
do it
that Auburn
again.
education.
I'll hit a
Ernie.
man with glasses right
That's that
between
Auburn
them.
education,
That's it.
America.
But seriously though,
30,
if you're gonna rest Jaylen Brown,
pretty simple.
better
math.
check out where you're getting your
You don't
information.
need Wembanyama for this one. Like,
Go ahead and make your point.
Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, okay, we got nothing to play for. Let's rest these two guys.
Yes.
Come on, man. You rest Wemby, maybe. You rest Joker and Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon.
Getting up to
Joker's
170.
You rest LeBron because he's 102 years old. But all these dudes just sitting out. That's just disrespectful, man.
Well, I think the sitting out 2 weeks ago. You know, this is the last day of the season.
Yeah,
so
last thing you want to do on this last day
is
is
have
say,
somebody
okay,
have an ACL.
But listen, come on, man. Most
It
of these
doesn't
guys,
matter.
most of
No.
these guys are Jags anyway.
No, but if you're the New Orleans Pelicans, let's say, you don't want Zion to play the last game. We can understand.
Why? He rested up the last 3 years.
No. You can't risk that.
Are you
No,
serious?
He's been hurt.
No,
Come on,
He's
come
been
on,
hurt
Kenny.
prior.
Kenny, you're just
Kenny.
being
You can't
ridiculous.
risk.
now.
You're not going to make the playoffs.
Kenny.
2 weeks ago, differently.
So he's not getting a check?
But I think that
You're not getting a check.
There's a way to.
If you're in the playoffs and your guys,
there's
need
a way to
rest, yeah, but
circumvent
no,
that.
Yeah, come on.
If you're in the playoffs and
you're in the playoffs and your
you're
guys
locked
need to
down.
rest to get prepared for the
Come on, man.
But
postseason,
here's one that'll really get under your skin, Chuckster. So Brooklyn's playing Toronto today, in Toronto. And Toronto needs that win.
Yes.
You know, because they could be number 5 still, but they can knock down the 6th spot for sure. And Brooklyn is resting everybody.
See,
Brooklyn is.
Ernie, that's
You should
just
see the injury
disrespectful,
report
man.
on the Brooklyn. It's unbelievable.
Come on, man. That's disrespectful, kid. And would you
can't
agree
do
with
that.
that?
Well, you could circumvent it in a couple of ways.
Okay, well, give me just one of them because I don't want to hear your other BS on the second one.
Okay.
or the third one.
Well, you could circumvent it by not giving people more lottery balls.
You mean what I've been saying the whole time?
You can't. You can do that. You can make it a cap at a certain point.
No, just one ball.
Meaning like if you didn't make the playoffs,
That's it.
you just didn't make the playoffs.
That's what
you might be in
I've
the
been
Western
saying
Conference
this.
playing against the Thunder and the Spurs and the Nuggets, who are better
what we need to
teams
do?
possibly than the
Shaq,
two teams
let
in
me
the
just
Eastern
make this
Conference.
one point. I've been saying this for years. Now teams just they've been tanking for like 3 months. Every team that does not make the playoffs should get one ball. You can't improve your chances losing. Every team gets one ball. That would be the fair way to do it. Because we got
Where else in the world deficiency you get a reward
nowhere
for?
else. Nowhere else.
I'm trying to think. You get a reward for deficiency.
Only with our stupid NBA crap.
That's it.
There you go.
Come on, man. Stop doing that, man. Just give everybody one ball. That would stop tanking.
Orlando needs a win at Boston tonight. They need Toronto to lose to the Brooklyn Nets in order to move from the play-in to the
More,
playoffs.
I don't think it's the Brooklyn Nets. It's more like the Queens Nets. with the
No,
guys
Queens
that-
big the money, man. That ain't Queens.
Oh, see, there you go trying to rap again.
Look at Jimmy Butler taking a look at the sheet. The sheet is unbelievable. Yeah. Oh, by the way, so if Boston wins
Oh my God.
and Atlanta wins, Charlotte wins, Milwaukee and Brooklyn
Go to
win,
commercial, please.
Atlanta will be 5, Toronto will be 6. If a simple scenario start is Ernie-lytics, then what on earth is Chuck reporting 170 starters in a 150 starter league called?
I agree,
Rich.
Mr. Sideline.
You can say
Chuck-a-lytic.
stupid stuff when you're rich.
Called Chuck-a-lytics.
Tell him, Chuck.
Tell them. What they call me at the bank, Jack?
Mr. Barkley.
They better not be sitting down when I walk in.
Credit
Get your
one
ass
bank.
up. If you sit down, I'm moving my money.
Hey, you
And
see
the
what
bank gonna tilt.
see what the Joker's going to do this year.
That's
It's never
amazing.
been done. First guy to lead the league in rebounds per game and assists per game
That's amazing, man.
in the same season. Nuggets taking on the San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio later tonight. Denver wins that game. They're number 3. If they lose and the Lakers win, then they flip. The Lakers would be 3 and the Nuggets would be 4.
I have one more.
Oh my
addition.
God, here you go again.
One more addition. How about we pay bonuses for a position? Meaning, if you're the 1 seed.
Oh, my God.
If you're the 1 seed, each player gets this.
We're not talking about
You're the 2. Wait, let me finish.
No,
let me
man.
talking about the bottom barrels.
Let me finish. So now, if I'm the 12th seed, there's a bonus for my players. So now I'm playing. The players would say, no, we're not tanking. We're not sitting out because we get a bonus for being 10, 11. Wherever you finish, you get a bonus. So top guys for this.
Can I retort?
And it has been said players don't tank.
Can I?
Organizations
Can I
take
have
it,
a-
then
can
players
I-
would be like, no, I'm not sitting out.
You know what I'm about moving? Can I have a retort?
Okay, tell me why. If I know I could get another $100,000 by being the 10th seed as a player, why wouldn't I do it?
Well, because you're already making 25
No, you
million.
could take that
Hold
into
on for a
collective
second.
collective bargaining.
Yeah. But you're taking. First of all, you're already making 25 million and you suck. I'm not giving you another 100,000.
No, this is part of the
No,
collective
I understand
bargaining.
that. You're already
That's how
making
you should do it,
25.
Kenny.
Guys are already making 30, 40 million dollars. You want me to pay you a bonus?
When you
or
win the
something?
championship, you get a bonus, don't you?
Yeah, that's called a championship, fool.
So that's my point.
So-
So winning the regular season, you should get a bonus.
We're talking about the
Come in
bottom
second.
teams.
It should be a bonus.
Every player should get 3 to 5 games off for rest. 3 to 5 games off rest. If you're hurt, the world needs to know what your injury is.
No, they do
That's
that
how you
now.
fix it.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
They do that
No, they
now.
don't.
They-
No,
they-
they don't.
they make
No,
it
they
up.
don't. Don't make it up. No, no.
But
No,
can
you
I
can't
ask
do
you this
that.
question?
Yes.
Can I ask you this question? Even if you played guys who maybe aren't starters, and we're the 11th seed, and we don't have a chance to win the playoff,
You
but
need
we
to be
can move to
playing.
10 in the last two
Oh, my
games,
God.
you don't think they would play hard?
Come on, man.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the.
I just want to see hard. I don't want someone not playing hard.
We're talking about the bumbling Nets. The bumbling Nets. In the 13th speed, talking about resting everybody.
Can I ask you this question then,
Yes.
Shaq? If you were the 13th seed, you're on the Brooklyn Nets, and you have 50 losses, and the 11th seed
gotta
has
play.
49. Wait,
You have
and
to
they
play.
told me if we get another $100,000 according to the collective bargaining agreement
I'm
for the
with Chuck.
position, I'm not playing. I'll be like, I'm playing today. I'm going to go get my extra
You're giving
$100,000
somebody $100,000 to finish 13th?
because you could break it up
Oh,
in a
my
collective
God.
bargaining agreement easily.
And let me
There's
tell you
so much
How
money
about
in-
this? If you're one of those bottom 5 in each conference, you got to give money back.
That's
I agree
right,
with
Ernie.
that.
That's right.
Yeah, how about
you know,
that?
Ernie, and I've said this for years, not just now. Not just basketball, football, baseball, any sport. I'm a firm believer. If you finish below 500, you should not be able to raise your ticket prices.
Well, that's another thing.
Seriously,
I agree.
100%.
I
If
agree.
you suck, you should not be able to raise your ticket prices.
You can
What
pay
if,
these
what
bums.
if I? No, that's not a good.
Why is
it
that not a
is.
good
It
thing?
is.
Because what if I trade for LeBron James in the offseason?
Well, you should be better. You should be above 500.
What if Wemby was hurt last year?
That's
And he's
unfortunate.
back.
But
Oh, well, no,
yeah,
no.
come on. That's just unfortunate if he get hurt. And I don't know about
Supply
the
and demand.
Back to Denver, San Antonio.
This is an interesting question, Ernie.
In your own estimation, it is. We'll be the judge. What is it? What is the question?
Well, it's a big difference between do you want to play the Spurs in the second round or you want to play the Thunder?
Well, I mean,
That's a big deal.
right. But here's the
I'd
deal.
rather play the Spurs than the Thunder.
But here's the deal with the Nuggets. They win tonight. They're number 3. Okay?
Yes, they play the
But
Spurs in the second round.
I know. But they're not playing anybody. Joker's the only guy who might play.
I don't- that-
They're
that's
not-
what-
they're
that's
sitting
what's
Jamal
weird.
Murray. They're
Oof.
sitting Aaron Gordon. They're sitting everybody.
They must want the, they must
No,
want,
I don't
they
think
must
that's
want
smart.
OKC.
See, I don't think that's smart.
You don't think it's smart? What?
No, because the Joker has his way with Rudy. So I need all my guys in the night. We want to get this first round. We want to go through them, and it don't matter who we have to play in the second round. If we have to play the champs in the second round, we got to beat them anyway. Let's get them out of the way. But today is the day where you're supposed to take care of business so you can be comfortable at home. Third or fourth, I want that number 3 seed. I want to play Minnesota in the first round.
They want, well, but apparently, whether they're 3 or 4 doesn't matter. They're sitting everybody.
I wouldn't have said everybody tonight.
Jeez.
But I think
it's mystifying to me.
because that to me
You
is
want to play
interesting.
Minnesota or Rockets in the first
Well,
round?
I don't think I think the Nuggets beat either one of them. I'm looking past the second round when you have to choose between playing the Spurs or OKC.
Yeah, but
I don't
Well,
think-
neither one of those easy. But
I think as
obviously the OKC comes in with a champ. But Denver 3-1 against both Minnesota and Houston, whoever they would meet in the first
I've
round.
been blessed to be on teams that had championship runs. We've never sat in the locker room and said, we're going to try to avoid this team in the second round. I don't know if y'all have,
No.
but we've never done
Nobody
that.
said that. I'm
So
talking
that's
about,
what I mean. So
but we've
as a
never been-
team,
but we've
you're
never
not
been-
looking at it and going, oh, who do we have in the second round? You're like, you got home court advantage or not. And that's it. And I don't
got
think
these
you're looking
guys in the
further than
first
that.
round.
Well, so I'm just saying this. If I'm looking, we got to win this game. I'm not even worried about the first round. Denver's their championship contender. Whoever they play in that other stuff, they're like gonna be. But you're gonna have to say, I'd rather. This is just my opinion.
Have you done that before?
I know, but I'm telling
As
you,
a
I've never
team?
been in this exact situation.
Oh, okay.
I'd rather play instead of playing the defending champs. If I had a chance to play against, and listen, we love the Spurs. They've never been in any fire. They've never been in any fire before. We love Wemby. He might win the champ. He might win the MVP. But other than De'Aaron Fox, I'm maybe Harrison Barnes, if I remember correctly. But the rest of those young guys, it's going to be interesting how they react in the playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
Can you figure why Denver would sit their guys?
Injury. That would be the only thought. They're not
Everybody's
looking-
injured?
No, they're like,
they wanna avoid it.
They want to avoid injury. Again,
And Joker needs
I
one
don't-
more game.
yeah,
to qualify for the
know.
NBA awards. He
I
needs
don't
to-
know of any team that I've been on in those runs that when we really had a realistic chance of going deep. that we sat and said that.
Well, the only person y'all had to worry about was Akeem.
What are you talking about?
Like, we weren't, like, nobody was worried. Like, now, if y'all said Akeem, now that'll be a different animal.
What are you talking about?
What I just said.
You don't think Sam Cassell, myself, Mario Early, Robert Horry made a difference in the NBA championships?
No, y'all made a difference.
You don't think when I broke the NBA record against the Orlando Magic to make them play in one-on-one, that made a difference?
Shaq sit out,
what are you talking about? That doesn't even make sense.
Thanks, Brian Hill, for making us double
What are you
Akeem.
talking about?
No, exactly right.
They stopped doubling. Double after that, it was too late. I know it makes sense.
Denver and San Antonio, game 2 of our final night of the season doubleheader. Kenny's proposal for the lower seed sounds like Oprah giving cars.
We're giving away cars to bombs now, y'all.
Okay.
Lower seed, giving a guy $100,000.
Y'all just keep letting them sit out there.
There we
Do
go.
you mind if I retweet?
Sam Jackson, I love you, brother.
Greatness.
We're going to give bombs $100,000 to finish in the 11th spot.
This year run at ESPN ends with this telecast tonight for Mark. I think a standing ovation would be appropriate at this point.
Stand up, Richard.
Thanks, guys.
Jonesy, tell me what you're feeling right now, man.
Well, Ernie, I have a very full and a very heavy heart today as I say goodbye to the only place that I've really worked in network television, and I'm just thankful for all the friends that I've made along the journey. You know, they talk about it being not about the destination, but the journey, and my journey's been outstanding. You know, I had a chance to be around some fantastic people. I started my career off working with, you know, Brent Musburger and Jim Valvano in one of my very first assignments, and working with, you know, Dick Vermeil and Musburger on college football, and had a chance to do NBA finals and just be around some wonderful people as part of my NBA family. So as I say goodbye today, I'm going to have fun. I'm doing it with my partner Doris Burke, and I couldn't think of a better way to go out.
Mark, I can remember, you know, especially listening to cool guys like Ernie and Dick Vitale, but when I came into the NBA, you and Stewart were the only guys that were adding hip-hop to when you was talking about basketball. When did you decide to start doing that?
You know what? It was pretty much from the start, Shaq. You know, I always talk about in some of the kids that I mentor in the business that are trying to get into the business, being your authentic self, and that's always been a big part of my culture and the things that I listen to and where I am in this world. And I figure if you're going to be your best self, then you got to let it fly the same way you would let it fly as if you were watching TV at home, watching a game and saying some of the things, talking to the TV the same way I do as when I broadcast. So it wasn't so much a conscious decision, Shaq. It was just being my best version of my best self, I think.
Well, Mark, we've been friends for a long time, man. I just want to say congratulations on an amazing career. But take me back when you were younger. Who were some of the first people, especially people of color, that you saw on television that inspired you and made you want to do this?
Yeah, you know, there's an interesting story, Charles. When I was working in Toronto originally, where I was born, I went down to the baseball stadium. I was hosting the Toronto Blue Jays magazine show, and I met Bryant Gumbel for the first time. He was a guy that I really idolized. And I went up to Bryant Gumbel and said, Mr. Gumbel, I'd like to call big games on national network television in the United States like yourself. And he turned around and blew me away when he said, young man, I watched your sportscast last night on television on TSN. I think you're ready now. And that had an incredibly indelible impact on me and my outlook going forward. And he would have to be the one guy that I really point at. And of course, you know, getting to work with Brent Musburger early. I watched James Brown. Fred Hickman was another guy on CNN that I always enjoyed watching on television as well. So when you consider some of those names and some of those faces, especially the people of color, it really resonated with me.
Mark, congratulations on a great career. And I have one question. You've had so many great games and so many great telecasts. So what would be the most memorable game that you have ever had, besides maybe tonight?
I would think it would be Steph Curry's 54-point game in Madison Square Garden back when he was becoming Steph Curry. And interestingly enough, Kenny, that's the first time I spit out, oh, he's hotter than fish grease. And it just came to me in the moment because he was so incredibly spellbinding that night. And, it was that one. It was the infamous LeBronto game in 2018, Game 2 in Toronto, and LeBron had, I think it was 18 points in the second quarter. Those were two of the more memorable ones. And, of course, the NBA Finals that I had an honor to call back in 2022, Game 1 with the Warriors against the Celtics. Those are just three of many that I would have to rank that way.
Jonesy, last thing from me. Look, when I'm watching games in my home office and I'm working on stuff, when you're calling a game, I always have dictionary.com, that window open, because I know you're good for 3 or 4 absolute beauties as the night wears on. Put you on the spot. Is there a word that comes to mind that is going to describe what you're feeling right now and what this game will mean to you?
I would have to say just indelible. This one will be one that is emblazoned. I would go with one of those two, emblazoned, in my memory forever, because it'll be the last time that I get to work for the worldwide leader, and a place that gave me an opportunity back in 1990 as an intrepid young sportscaster coming from Toronto, to believe in me, to give me a chance. And Ernie, with the words, that's a tribute to my late father, Hugh Jones, who lived to be 93. He was fluent in Latin and Spanish, and he made my older brother Paul and I sit down at the dinner table a lot of nights and read the dictionary to him and go through vocabulary. So it's a part of him that I take to the microphone.
Hey,
Mark,
Mark, last question. One, I love you. And two, when you used to roll up the piece of paper and shoot it at the wastebasket, was it higher than my free throw percentage? Did you make more than you missed?
This much.
Because I always used to wonder, is he making that shot? Congratulations, brother. We love you.
Yeah.
Mark Jones.
Thank you. Love you guys, too. Thank
Enjoy
you.
every second tonight, man. Hope it
I will.
goes double.
And thanks for having me. Yeah, it's great to be on the same team with you guys for one last time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
The honor is ours, believe me.
We'll see you in my favorite city, Toronto, as soon as basketball is over. You know that.
If not, South Beach.
You got it, Chuck.
Nobody want to go to South Beach.
As we head to break, a shout out. We welcome you back. 25 years ago today, Larry David tripped Shaq sitting courtside.
You see that S. Curl Kenny?
I remember you had that.
Yeah, you see that S. Curl
Did you have the
Bridget?
part?
Yeah.
Look at
And the late great Richard Lewis in there.
But look at this. This is worse than just Kazam.
No. Actually, Chuck, I believed you.
Okay,
I
what?
believed you.
Thank you.
I didn't believe that was the trainer.
Yeah. Gary Vitti. What's up,
Gary Vitti, there you go.
He had a trainer that heavy.
That's something wrong with Fat Trainer?
No, you can't be a trainer and train people to be in shape.
Doesn't look like that.
No, come on, man, stop that.
I'm just saying it was hard to believe. I didn't say it was impossible. It's
Not a
You're so
believable
rude.
not
casting.
believable.
Yeah, trainers don't have to be in shape.
Yes, they do. How can you train and not be in shape?
Listen, I had a trainer named Al Domenico. The only thing he had in his bag was those little
But look at the
donuts.
look at his subject. There we go.
Hey, in his bag, all he had was those little miniatures and a horse racing sheet.
Listen.
One of my favorite people ever.
Love that.
No, he's a great actor though. That guy.
Thank
Yo,
you.
Shaq?
No, the
I
guy.
appreciate it.
Larry David's great.
No, not Larry David.
The trainer.
The trainer. I can't think
Shaq,
of his
can you
name.
hook us up with Larry David? I'd like to meet him.
I know Larry.
Done.
Oh well.
I was talking to
him right
Shaq.
now.
I know him well as
I
well.
was talking to
Larry,
1 and 2. Stay
Larry,
out of 3.
text me.
Hey, all of that being said, it's time for a brand new episode of Shackton.
I'm so glad to be back here.
He's Shaq the fool.
What?
He's Shaq the fool.
What?
He's Shaq the fool.
What?
Chuck got a fat trainer.
We know.
The horse racing sheet.
That's right.
Number 4, Cariz Levert.
Harris Levert.
Whatever. Needs to get his court vision checked.
Why is that?
C-A-R-S is Cariz.
Car is.
No, that's
Yep. Carvana, Cariz. Lakers in 5.
In fairness, the ref had on a dark jersey.
That's not fair.
Oh, that's not
Get out of here. He's like 5'11". The ref.
The Pistons, man, I can't
Number
wait to
3,
see them in the playoffs.
Mika Porter and Kobe Brown
Micah Parker.
got entangled
Micah
by
Parker.
Spider Mitchell and crossover. M-I-C-H is Mika. My name is Mika.
Hey, hey.
Oh, the double cross. Oh,
Oh, my.
Why is he guarding a little guy anyway?
Switched out.
No, this is a
oh, got him.
Oh, he caught 2 people.
Got him in that spider web. Number 2, Hornets fans. PSA to NBA fans everywhere. Shaq is always watching.
No. No. No.
Come on, man.
Oh, my goodness.
This dude is.
Oh.
Come on, man. That's why you're in the stands.
Having good seats is not a ticket to do that.
Number 1, Alex Caruso.
Oh, my son.
He is a shoe-in for the Defensive Player of the Year. Ernie, get your son.
I like
Give me
that,
that.
Shaq. Shoe in.
He actually, no, he actually,
Man, that's a flagrant. You can't do that.
that's a technical.
I don't see an issue with that.
Automatic tech.
That's a flagrant, Ernie. You can't do that.
What is that? Wow. Oh, and Alex Caruso, the winner.
Ernie.
I hate it when you ask me that with that look on your face. It
Okay.
was of concern.
Now, we had
and-
to do some research, and we didn't do it. But I need to know.
If Boston wins.
No.
And
Remember, I said to you, the Washington Wizards. Did you see that April Fool joke to that dude?
I did
yeah.
not. I did not.
Do you
see
know
it.
the story behind it?
Well, they told him
Go
we
ahead.
won a game, and they
No, they told him
got
he won
happy.
$10,000.
They had a guy out there. They had a guy out there, blindfolded him, and said, "Take a shot."
Oh
from
yeah, yeah. I've
half
seen
court.
that before.
Yeah, I've seen that
It was
before.
April Fool's Day. They said they gave the guy a check and everything,
no,
Kenny.
but
Yeah,
here's-
but I mean,
here's the deal.
they're not the first team to
No,
fake that.
but here's the deal. They said later, everybody involved was in on the joke. So the guy who took the shot was apparently in on the joke too.
No, he wasn't in on it.
No, that's what the Wizards
Well, let me
said.
say this anyway.
Yeah.
Let me just say this.
It's an April Fool's joke. Stop
I
being
understand
sensitive.
that.
Nope, stop it.
But no, I'm gonna finish myself.
Crazy.
I'm gonna finish.
Hey, all right.
Let me tell you something. The Wizards can't joke.
Why?
Because they the damn Wizards. No, listen, certain people, no, we